guys. Whoever's here. Who do we have? Currently we only have one so far. Are we talking to Mark or are we talking to Billy? Maybe we're talking to JC. He's the one that suggested ow tonight's theme. That hurt, but we're gonna ignore that. We'll pretend that never happened. Also, I'm gonna eat something really quick. Those of you that tuned in for ASMR, you're in for an extra treat with some chewing. I'm not feeling 100% tonight. Not in a like infected COVID kind of way, so don't worry. But it's a whole thing. And I decided right at the last second, I was like, you know, I'm gonna eat a granola bar here. I'm gonna stuff my face while I'm getting ready. Oh, shine some more light on here too. Hang on, give me a sec. There we go. Alright. Classy affair. Smacking the desk, blocking the camera, chewing on a protein granola bar. I have to admit, I've never watched Phineas and Ferb. But I know a little bit about Perry the Platypus, and just based on pure concept, I'm a fan. So Perry is going to play a fairly large role in today's drawing. Just to clarify, you guys can hear me, right? I'm assuming at this point somebody would have said if they couldn't hear me. Or the one person that I can confirm is watching. Whoever that one person may be. I was messing around with the mic before, but I'm pretty sure it worked. I'm just noticing it's bouncing more than it should be, even when I'm not talking. But it's definitely bouncing more when I talk, so it must be right. It must be good. Alright. My name shall be Billy. Is this the same Billy? Did you change your name, Billy? A Nature Valley protein granola bar. There a story behind the name change? Or the username change, I mean, to be more specific. Okay, fair enough. Better safe than sorry. Are you a Phineas and Ferb fan yourself, Billy? what I know of it sounds up my alley, but I just haven't. But it's one of those things that sort of seemed like if I missed it in the beginning, it wasn't going to happen. But now, streaming being what it is, and Disney Plus might actually happen. So the reason I was eating, by the way, well, I mean, I was hungry, obviously, but my recurring chest pains from my inflammation, my chest inflammation I mentioned, they came back. Came back on Sunday, I guess it was, but it was like so subtle I was barely even acknowledging it. And I've been taking these like baby aspirins, which the doctor told me would probably prevent flare-ups, but apparently not. This is one of the more tame versions of it, but just the fact that I'm feeling it at all, especially after hearing that, oh no, these will fix it, this will stop it from happening, kind of bummed me out, and it kind of was affecting my mood, and I kind of thought, well, I should maybe eat something else, because I haven't eaten a ton since I got home, and that maybe that'll give me a little bit of an added energy boost. When I'm not moving around, I don't feel it that much. It's just, like, I actually came home and I drew, even though I wasn't feeling the best. And I was fine for the most part. You know, I get in a comfortable position, I'm not moving around that much, I barely even notice it. But just knowing that it's there and that it shouldn't be there kind of bums you out, affects your mood, affects your drive and stuff, so. I was working away on a page I was pretty excited about, actually, for Combat Fairies. And it was turning out well, but then I couldn't bring I had about an hour before the stream, and I thought I should take a break. Let's not risk aggravating this. The more you fixate on it, the worse it feels too. It's a whole thing. A doctor that I saw is apparently working on getting me to see a specialist, which hopefully will help us figure this out. I just noticed how blown out the page is. You can probably barely see what I'm doing right now, hey? This is a fairly simple one. I'm not really messing with the designs too much. I mean, I might take some liberties, but I'm not messing with it too much. It's going to be more the context that I'm kind of playing with. I think a lot of those cartoons are pretty episodic, really. I think there's fairly few, just a few exceptions, I think, to that, typically. Foot, but we're gonna keep it for now, at least.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you. And it's twisted, you've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through.
How you doing though, Billy?
I got issues in my head.
I mean, are we 2 or 3 of the new gig now, I guess?
Everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, baby, you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed, thinking something
Wait, really? You're on week 4, week 6 already. Holy shit. Time flies. I haven't seen, well, I'm caught up on Miss Marvel. I haven't seen this week's yet, because it hasn't dropped yet. At least that I'm aware of. I liked the last episode. I'd say, though, I really liked the pilot episode of Miss Marvel a lot. But I haven't loved the show since then as much as I want to, based on that first. And I think part of it is like, I think the show feels kind of slow compared to that first episode, which was had a fairly brisk pace. And also, I really liked all the clever graphics and stuff that they did. I thought that was really cool. Hey JC, this is your suggestion. But but they kind of stopped doing that. They're not really doing it anymore. Or they're doing it a little bit, but like super minimally. It was rushed. I agree with that. It was, but I think the problem is because they spent so much time on the slower stuff and like that. We could have gotten there sooner and then let it breathe a bit more. I feel like the stuff with the wedding and everything, like I feel like there's been an effort to really showcase the kind of the cultural stuff with her family, and I think that's cool, but I think that element could be integrated more into the superhero plot a bit better. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 How about you, JC? Have you been watching Miss Marvel? What are your thoughts on it? Also, maybe me and JC are kind of burying the lead here. We were supposed to have comics today, but apparently Kelsey got COVID. And nobody told me, so we were all very confused. You mean just so that you'll be like in the know when the next like big event that you're more interested in happens? You mean, JC? Because honestly, I think that's fair. I also think too that some of the stuff that I don't necessarily like, I haven't loved all the more kind of teen angsty elements of Miss Marvel, but I think that's okay. I think that there's room for that to exist. It's just that as a Marvel fan, you want to watch all of it, even if like that particular show maybe is targeting a different demographic than yourself, but you want to be in the know for all those reasons. Yeah. No, I don't think it's for everyone. And yeah, I picked up on your excitement for comics. Take me back to a place where I felt Candace has an overbite. And one hell of a long neck.
Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls.
I'm a little curious where Kelsey got COVID from too, just because it's not a great sign if you got COVID at the school on literally the first week that we haven't had the mask rule in play.
Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't want to be a part of it. Can I just
Hey, Mark.
I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this.
I think that's cool as well, JC. I think my issue, like I haven't, like I said, I haven't loved the pacing, and I really like how much they're leaning into that, but I think that it could just be integrated better. Cause like my example for that, and minor spoilers, there's not the last episode, but the episode before that, they have the thing with the wedding. And I feel like if there was, you know, I kind of feel like they're like, here's some superhero stuff. Here's some non-superhero stuff. Oh, by the way, here's some more superhero stuff. And I feel like if we they could have interwove it so that we kind of like, we felt like something was coming, like an attack was coming, and it was just a question of when, and there would have been a bit of tension there. But it was kind of like, oh right, I forgot this is also the show, and there's like two things going at once that I think could be woven better. But I'm not like really hating on it. Like I am enjoying it enough, just not to the extent that I wanted to, based on that first episode, which I liked a lot more. Check my camera? What, my face cam? Oh shit. Thank you. Okay.
Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't.
Well, I assume they were ready. Smart ass Mark. Well, hopefully next week. My mom actually has COVID now as well, but she seems to be getting through it fairly painlessly. Like, it doesn't sound like it's been a fun time, but it's been mostly just regular cold kind of symptoms.
My own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight. Gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life every day.
Yep. And honestly, a big part of it is just that we've all gotten way too complacent about it.
A rock in a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young one, yeah, that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait, no, it's living with no shame. Wait, no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well, I just want to be happy. How to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome, but try to do what you love when it's said and done, cause there's so many differences in each of us.
Was she? Was she gonna show up today? I should have this up higher. Not gonna lie, guys. Ferb seems like kind of a dork. Just saying. Okay, and now we got Phineas. Answer. It does sound good. What do you mean by hearsay? Like you've never heard of such a thing? I don't like. I feel like gravy would it would taste good. I think it'd be a mess to eat though. Have you guys figured out what I'm parodying yet? By the way. Yeah. Parodying. Yeah, never mind. There's a place in New West right near the movie theater called Spud Shack, which has been it's been there for I think as long as that movie theater's been there. But I remember going there with a friend when it first opened and not being super impressed. But gave it another chance last week when we went to see Lost or Jurassic World rather, and really dug it. It's mostly poutine. So you wouldn't want to take Mars there, but hard to see, like hard to picture it. Oh. Well then what's hearsay? I don't even know if I know what that word means then. Hearsay? Heresy. As in like heresy? Oh, okay. Then no. I agree with JC. It sounds good. I think it'd just be difficult to eat. This is gonna be probably a quickish one tonight, but it is just as well since, like I said, not 100% at the moment. But not in a COVID kind of way, to be clear. What makes you ask that in the first place, Billy? But that's not poutine. I mean, I guess it's kind of a poutine hot dog, but it's not. Key bakers. I think it'd be kind of fun to do a really grizzled, hardcore, old man Perry kind of drawing sometime as well. But not today. I might have told this story before, but one time at ferry terminal on the island coming home, I got a chili dog. It was the grossest thing ever. Like, it was the most watery chili I have ever witnessed. They literally just put the hot dog and the bun in this like styrofoam container, and then just took a ladle and then just dumped this chili on top of it. Just like so disgusting. Platypus, Perry the platypus, yes. That is what I'm going for with this image, if you guys didn't put that together. Specifically the Goldfinger poster. So, assuming I at some point color this, Candace is going to be covered in gold paint. Platypus is such a weird animal. Sorry, dude. Part of the confusion for me too was because I knew how excited you were today. So at first my thought was like, is there a scheduling mix-up where like our schedules all said Impact Room, but we were like, okay, well maybe their schedule says something different, and they're sitting somewhere expecting us to show up. And I thought, but JC would probably have texted me by now. Okay. For this particular class, because it wasn't workshop and we were just kind of you guys showing your stuff and pairing up, like if we had to, we probably could have made it work with just me, but that would also be taking some work hours away from Kelsey, and I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much the yeah. What do you mean, oh come on? Want to take food out of Kelsey's mouth? Wow. The man has COVID. He needs to eat. I went with pop today. Yeah, before I ink the rest here, we're gonna do a bolder outline around his silhouette here. How was the first comics class last week, though? JC, how'd that go? Wasn't much. Wow. Maybe you've hyped this class up for yourself a bit too much. That's what I do on the first day as well. Did you guys watch Comic Book Confidential? I think Kelsey used to show that. I don't know if he still does. Aw, shucks. It's the combination. Wonder Twins unite.
Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the
Are you sure that wasn't the beginning of Comic Book Confidential? Because that's how that... It's a feature-length documentary, but it starts with stuff about anti-comics propaganda. Do you have the kid that starts stabbing the tree? It was probably the beginning of that. But it's not just about that. Like, how much did you watch? If that was your only takeaway. Because it's primarily about underground comics in the 80s. Huh. So it was either those same clips but not part of the doc, or he just wanted to show you the opening. But I think there was a time when he used to show the whole thing. I used to show that on our last day. And then I switched it out for a movie called Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope. A Morgan Spurlock documentary that tracks a bunch of people going to San Diego Comic-Con, including 2 aspiring comic artists, a comic book retailer, cosplayer, or a couple cosplayers, a toy collector, really cringy weird couple, and it's a decent watch, and you get to see the industry from a few different angles. But during the pandemic, when we were doing stuff online, watching movies didn't really work out. So I created a different lecture to do on that last day, and I've been sticking with that because it's ultimately, I think, a bit more informative, and people can watch movies on their own time if they want to. Not that I'm opposed to teachers showing a movie in class, but you know, once I already had the lecture kind of built out, it was like, well, I might as well do this then. A bit more teachery.
Way back a year ago.
Yeah. But you didn't get as far as, because that plays even before the intro. So maybe maybe you just showed the intro to show you what the perception of comics was like, and then kind of cut it at that. Because we had to improvise today's class for the artist side, we almost I almost showed that. I actually have an all messed up, scratchy version of that DVD in my bag that I didn't know was still in there, that I just happened to discover today. And I was like, I don't know if this will still play, but maybe we do this instead. And then I decided, no, I'll do the comic book cover lecture. And that way, when we get to that later, we can kind of compensate for being a little behind. But even if you don't get them all done today, this term, which, sorry, you won't, doesn't mean you can't pursue it down the line. But I do agree with Billy, even the weirdest story has potential. It's all in the approach. These are gold bars, by the way. I'm not doing it nearly as much on this image as what the actual Goldfinger poster has. Just getting enough to get the vibe. You know my potential. Ironically, when I started this drawing, by the way, JC, I was also thinking about Comic Book Confidential, because that doc also shows this guy. I can't remember what his name is, but he wrote this really somewhat infamous, wrote and drew this somewhat infamous comic called The Air Pirates. And The Air Pirates is a parody on Mickey and Minnie and the Gang. And Disney threatened to There is FERB. Screwed up a line there. We're gonna make this a bit darker around the bottom. In your case, yes. And ideally, in our case, it also would have been. But unfortunately, Chris kind of forgot about the fact that we needed Kelsey for today's class, so he didn't reschedule it, so we were all there. So we just kind of made do by doing a later lesson that didn't require the writers. So basically what I did was I did a combination of some of the week 5 stuff I would do when we first separate from you guys, and some stuff from the last day. Both of those classes are usually designated, like a large portion of them anyway, are designated as a work block to kind of get started on things and then potentially finish things. So yeah, so we did that so that we'll get caught up with you guys next week and so on. We're ahead, well, I mean, we're ahead in terms of schedule because we have one less class to go through than you guys do, but a part of what this class should have been would have been working on the comic that they'd planned with you guys. So they're going to lose a week to actually work on the comic, which is unfortunate. So yeah. Because yeah, like we're, like I said, ahead on the schedule in a literal sense, but not ahead on the actual work. You'd get a lot of versions of the same story. Am I right that they did a Phineas and Ferb movie, by the way? Am I remembering that right? I mean, it happens. It happens once in a while because often we'll end up with more artists than we do writers. Just not to the point. Like we have quite a few. Actually, by the way, JC, how many writers are in your class for comics? Okay, and I think we have. Okay, so she's supposed to be painted gold, so that's gonna be my one finishing touch, is to add the sheens. How about you, JC? You're the one that suggested this one, so I'm guessing you're a fan. Do you remember what the deal is with Candace's jeans? Okay. I think I will eventually put this show on, but it probably will be a drawing show. I think it's a show, but just... it makes watching things a bit more practical if I can multitask. Certain shows I'll save, but you guys have heard me give this spiel before, so I'm not saying anything new here. One last thing before we toss the signature on here. Or as Bob Ross would say, a signature. Is we're gonna give his tail the extra thick silhouette line that we did for the rest of Perry. There we go. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm assuming it's pretty funny though, because I know it has a fairly big adult following. In fact, that Comic Book Confidential movie I mentioned earlier, there's a moment where there's kind of like a montage of people talking about what subjects are most interested in seeing at the convention, and there's like two people that I assume are brothers that are saying they're most interested in seeing Phineas and Ferb stuff. All right, we're gonna sign it. When I do color this, I'm definitely gonna color it. When I do, I'm gonna give it the whole Goldfinger poster treatment, which I think is gonna be funny. But I'm not getting that till I finish my my comic, or volume 2 of my comic, and hopefully that'll be in the next couple months. But if this chest pain thing keeps coming back, hopefully I get in that specialist and he gives me some miracle drug. I'm told it exists, but I need to get confirmed for it before they'll give it to me. So hopefully that happens, and I can do away with this, because every once in a while I keep needing to take time out that I wouldn't otherwise take, and that's annoying. But here we are. We're done. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back on my usual time. Wow, I overexposed the camera today. Hey, I just noticed how bright. Like I said, commented earlier about how bright it was, but I'm just noticing even more. That's weird. I don't know how I did that. But anyway, I'll be back on Thursday. I got something. I got something planned for Thursday. I'll just say that. Now, I guess if this whole thing keeps acting up, maybe I'll put it off. But I'll probably be back on Thursday to do this plan. So maybe we'll see you guys then. But either way, thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.